Hi, sweet potatoes. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I call my tribe my sweet potatoes. So if you're watching this, you are a sweet potato. So welcome. Hi, everyone. Today I want to talk about what it is like when you're a new immigrant to America, particularly if you're Nigerian, but this will apply even if you're not Nigerian. These are some money mistakes you should avoid because listen, America is a different beast, okay? Now, let's get right into it. Number one, not building credit early enough. I can't speak for all the nations, obviously, but if you're Nigerian, then you know that in Nigeria, paying in cash is a flex. We don't do no credit. We don't do credit cards. The flex is being a cash king or a cash madam. You know what I mean? That you're able to pay cash. And coming from Nigeria to America can be, if you didn't know, if nobody taught you, nobody gave you the expo, you'd be like, what the? America rewards you for credit, okay? America rewards you for having a great borrowing history. It's like they reward you for being a good borrower. Unlike Nigeria, where you're able to save money in bulk. I mean, we pay rent once a year. Here, you pay rent every month. It's harder to save that bulk of money. So a lot of people buy big ticket items on credit, like a car, a house, things like that. There are people who pay cash, but that is not the norm here in America. So building your credit, and how do you build your credit? You get yourself a credit card. As a new immigrant, you may not qualify for the big banks giving you the unsecured credit card, but you might be able to qualify. Not you might, you will qualify for the secured credit card. And what is a secured credit card? Basically, the bank, let's say Verastic Bank. I like the sound of that. So you go to Verastic Bank and you have to deposit money. So let's say you deposit $1,000. You now borrow against $1,000. That $1,000 is your spending limit. Okay. Whatever money you deposited, then that's your spending limit. So why do you need a secured credit card? Because when you use that credit card and you pay on time, as if it's a regular unsecured credit card, the bank will report your payments to the credit bureaus. And so the credit bureaus will be like, oh, well, this person is a good borrower. And then from there, you graduate and you qualify for an unsecured credit card. Okay. So the point is when you come into the country, do that. Okay. It doesn't matter what the spending limit is. If you can afford $100, let $100 be your spending limit, but use that card, use it religiously, and pay on time. Number two, living above your means. We know how we are as Nigerians. We like to be flashy. And coming into a new country, especially one like America, having a credit card, before you know it, you're buying things that you can't even afford to pay for. Listen, Dokwantigi. Dokwantigi, pull your ear. Your first project should be building a financial foundation first. Don't do the thing where you're like buying everything, you're posting on Instagram, your hashtag. Don't do that. That is a very quick way to being in debt. Number three, neglecting emergency expenses. One thing in the US is emergency expenses can come and they can hit you fast and hit you hard. Don't send all your extra money back home. It's nice of you, it's sweet, it's kind, but listen, if you need to be able to float over here before you help others. It's like that thing on the plane where you got to put on your oxygen mask first before you help. Because if you pass out, you can't help the next person. That's exactly what it is like with money. You need to help yourself. Save some money for emergencies. In cases, Ada mama onichagwalo obosi. You need to save some money because when those emergency expenses come, and they will come, they're gonna hit hard. You know, in Nigeria, for example, you could have a plumbing issue and you call your friend, hey, do you have any plumbing contact? And they send you someone. It doesn't cost you really that much. Here, people like plumbers are gonna cost you an arm and a leg, okay? Your roof is leaking. Or let's say you don't even buy a house, you're renting, but your car needs to be fixed. That mechanic is not gonna be cheap. All right. So save your emergency fund. I'm not saying you shouldn't send money to your home. I'm not saying you shouldn't send money back home, but you need to make sure you save some for yourself first. Number four, I don't know if I should call this not understanding taxes or over expectation of your salary or your paycheck. So here, when you get a job and they tell you you're going to be earning $60,000 a year, you don't actually walk home with $60,000. Now, if it's a W-2 payment, that's where the employer takes the taxes out automatically. You're going to be going home with probably, depending on a lot of things, but let's say you're going home with about 75% of your salary. So when you make your budget and they tell you you're going to be earning $60,000 a year, understand that you're taking home for yourself 70 to 75% of $60,000, not the whole $60,000. Now, if you are working as a contractor and they're not taking out your taxes, then you need to pay your taxes yourself. So you need to calculate how much of your money, maybe I would say create a new account where you save. Don't even look at that money. As the money is coming in, understand that, wait, I got to take out 30% of this and save it for taxes, because you will pay those taxes. Speaking of paying taxes, make sure you file your taxes every year. Listen, even if the IRS doesn't send you a letter this year or they don't send you a letter next year, trust me, the IRS will come for their money. And when they come, they're going to add some interest to it and you are going to be in the hole. Do yourself a favor, do some research on taxes, understand, ask before you take a job, ask your employer if this is a W-2 job where they're going to take the contract, where they're going to take the taxes out, or if you have to pay your taxes yourself. Number 5, do not skip your health insurance. I'm not sure now if it's even legal to not have health insurance, because I know Obamacare came in and did something, but I know that there was a time I was working and I didn't have health insurance and it was an option. It was fine if I didn't have health insurance. But here's the thing, it was terribly bad for me to do that. And I was just deeply favored to not fall sick, because in America, healthcare is expensive. If one illness, one small sickness can wipe out your savings. It doesn't even have to be a big illness. If you go to the emergency room, for example, and you don't, because like with insurance right now, with insurance, if I go to the emergency room, I have to pay $100 copay for like urgent care and things like that. Without insurance, I don't even know what that is. So do not skip out on insurance. It's not like Nigeria where you say you pay as you go. It's when you are sick. You don't even have to go and visit a doctor in Nigeria. You can go to the pharmacist and say that malaria is doing me, give me chloroquine or whatever it is people take for malaria. You can diagnose yourself. You can tell the pharmacist, hey, my body is doing me like, don't want to, I'm hot here. And they will just say, oh, okay, this is typhoid fever, take this. That's not what happens here. A doctor has to medicines. There are some medicines over the counter, but they're not medicines that are going to cure whatever it is you have. Most likely, you need to see a doctor. You need to get a prescription. Everything is expensive. Have some health insurance. Number 6 is not asking questions or being afraid of looking or sounding ignorant. First of all, we are raised in a culture where you don't ask too many questions and you don't challenge your boss and things like that. But in America, you need to ask questions. You are congratulated and celebrated for asking questions. If you come into America, you just do what one Nigerian person told you, that the only thing you can do in this country is become a nurse. You have failed. You are going to go down the wrong path and you're going to spend years, you're going to spend money, you're going to spend everything over there going down the wrong path and going down fast. So ask questions, speak to a variety of people. Listen, don't do the thing where, only trust Nigerian people. That is terrible advice. Please make friends with other people, especially Americans. I didn't say you should make everybody your best friend, but get to know the people in whose country you are living. They probably know more than, not probably, they know more than you, obviously. Ask questions, ask opinions. Get several opinions on whatever it is, whether you're trying to decide a career path, a school to go to, where to live. Ask questions. And we have the internet these days. Use the internet. Please ask questions. Another mistake people make when they first come here is buying a car too quickly. Now, this one is a little because Depending on where you live, depending on the kind of job you have, getting a car might be inevitable. All right. I live in Baltimore, Maryland, and the area where I live, if I didn't have a car, it would be stressful. But the thing I would say is before you do get a car, be informed. Know that here, maintaining a car is more than changing the oil and putting gas in the car. There's a lot more. You got to pay car insurance. You got to figure out what kind of insurance you're even going to pay, like full coverage or not. Full coverage means that if you cause an accident, your insurance is going to fix the person's car and your car. And if you get the other insurance and the name is not coming, liability, yes, liability alone, it means your insurance only pays for the other person's car, but yours doesn't get paid for. So these are things to consider. You have to pay for your tags, you have to renew your license, you have to go for emissions tests. So maintaining a car is much more than what it is in Nigeria. So keep that in mind and know that all these things are going to cost you money. The next one, and this one is probably going to be a little touchy, sending too much money back home. We all have family back home. We all have people we love back home. But as I mentioned earlier, if you send all your money back home, you are going to be broke. You're going to be in trouble. I'm not telling you to let your people die. And I know that your people are probably depending on you. And I know that that's a lot of pressure. But please know that you have to keep your home running first. Okay. Yeah, you could maybe say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to buy myself a pair of shoes this month. I'm instead going to send the money back home. Cool. But just understand that you live here and here needs to be standing and running before you try to take care of people back home. You also need to curb expectations. Don't let your family think that because you're in them, because what happens is our friends and family don't understand that the work it takes to make this money. Sometimes they don't understand that in order for you to send money to them, you have to do without something. Sometimes they don't understand that how much it says on paper you make isn't how much you bring home. And they expect that you're making dollars. And so since you're making dollars, what are you doing with the dollars? Send the dollars home. But when you send it home, it's bigger in Nigeria than it is here. And we have the cost of living is not the same. Consider all these things before you start sending money home. The next mistake is not networking financially. I kind of touched on this before when I said don't make friends with only Nigerian people, but making friends with people in America, like Americans and non-Americans in America, will take you far. Because like I said, you don't know everything. I've been in America for over 2 decades and I still don't know everything. Nobody does. But if you're coming, you know even less. Make sure you make friends. Learn about everything. Learn about savings groups or joint savings groups rather, investments, 401k, scholarship for kids, saving money for the kid. Like, talk to people. See what other people are doing. Ask questions. One money mistake that I made was that, first of all, my first few years in this country, I didn't even have papers. But when I did get the papers, I did not get a credit card. And I had been here for years. But I misunderstood because I never used a credit card. I completely misunderstood how the credit system works. I thought that because I didn't have a credit card, that I would be rewarded. Like this girl doesn't even need to borrow money. She's been spending her own cash. She's been spending her own money. She's obviously not going over budget. That's what I thought. And then I went to get a car and realized I didn't have credit. They wouldn't sell me the car unless I had a second person on it. And so I had to have a second person on it. But I've since learned my lesson. Now I use credit cards all the time. By the time I paid the car off, I had several other credit cards. And I think I'm going to do another video where I break down credit cards and how you should use them and how you can gain from them, how you can even make money from your credit cards. And I know Dave Ramsey is not going to like this video, but I will make another video where I explain that to you because that is something you should know. That's something that can help. If you've made a money mistake on your own, let me know. I want to know. I've made several. This was just the one I chose to share in this video. In my next video, like I said, I'm going to teach you how to use your credit card, how to actually use your credit card. Because some of y'all are going about it the wrong way. If you use your credit card the right way, you're going to make money from it. I'll tell you that in another video. In the meantime, thank you for watching. If you like this video, if you resonate with what I said in this video, would you kindly give me a like, a share, a subscription? Thank you very much. Every action you take on this video will help the channel. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.